Ms. Murthy, thank you so much for talking to ET Now. It's a special occasion. I think it's been 10 years since the Infosys Science Foundation has been set up. Take us through, what makes the Infosys Prize 2018 special? What really stood out for you in terms of areas, winners, categories?
Well, this has been a 10-year journey. As I pointed out at the prize announcement ceremony, we wanted this to become the preeminent prize in India. Therefore, we said we will have the best possible jury chairs. We will provide them absolute freedom to choose whosoever they think is the best winner based on meritocracy. That Infosys Science Foundation would just not interfere in any of their deliberations. Third, we created the prize in 6 categories, both sciences, arts, social sciences, and engineering. We have had some of the names that have gone on to win even bigger prizes.
That's right.
On a global scale. We have had Manjul Bhargava,
Akshay Venkatesh this year.
Akshay Venkatesh. Then we have had Ashok Sen, who won the Millennium Prize, and Paddy Padmanabhan, who is highly respected in astronomy throughout the world. Then coming to 2018, I think we have continued gender diversity. We have 2 women. We are very, very happy about it. Second, for the first time, the physical sciences jury has realized the importance of climate change for India. Therefore, they must have deliberated on this issue, and this morning when I came to know that they had chosen an expert in the area of climate change, I was very, very happy. Right. So in other words, this year's prize indicates that the jury is alive to the challenges and problems faced by India.
That's right.
So these are some of the things.
Yeah. Right. You mentioned, 2 women winners this year. Yeah. Last year we had 3. Yeah. Also, in terms of the quality of applications that you see, I think just 2 winners were, in universities abroad. The rest of them are working in India in prestigious institutes like the TIFR and IISc. Yeah. Yeah. So, are you seeing the quality of research going up or the quality of applications going up, since you started this prize?
As a matter of principle, we don't get into the details of who they choose, how they choose. Right. That is completely the prerogative of the jury. However, as observers from outside, I agree with you that there are more and more winners from India. They are tackling bigger and bigger problems that have value to the country. There is a focus on women, as I pointed out, which has been the result of the wisdom of the jury. So overall, I am quite happy with the way this prize is evolving.
Right, right. The other question I wanted to ask you, sir, is beyond the awards, do you see ways in which, or the role that Infosys Science Foundation can play in incentivizing more people to, solve bigger problems? I think recently you had a sort of challenge to solve malnutrition, if I'm not mistaken. So will we see you broadening the scope of what the Science Foundation does, incentivizing people across age groups to solve problems for India?
Well, there are many initiatives that we have taken up. For example, we have held summer programs for school children in science, in mathematics, etc. We have got children from government schools, from private schools, all of that. Then this year we are working with New York Academy of Sciences on a competition for children to come out with solution to some interesting problems. We have arranged for the Infosys Prize winners to go and give lectures to youngsters at different cities in the country. And today you saw the announcement of the prize by 6 youngsters. They're all school children.
That's right.
That itself is an affirmation of our belief that we have to involve the youngsters more and more in some way in our Infosys Science Foundation activities, so that those youngsters are even more enthusiastic about science.
Right. And do you believe that there's always a trade-off between jobs and scientific curiosity? I mean, the assumption is that when you go into research or sciences, it's not as lucrative as chasing a regular corporate career. Do you believe that students today are perhaps okay to make that trade-off? Are attitude of parents changing? What can we do to address this?
Well,
for instance, you've increased the grant award this time. It's $100,000.
Yeah.
So what else can we really do?
Well, more than the financial aspect, I do believe that the role models in science, engineering and mathematics in the country and from abroad, they have to communicate more and more to our youngsters. We have to create a program whereby these role models go to cities, small towns, to the extent possible, and speak about the exciting problems that confront the human race and how science, technology and mathematics can indeed find a solution to these problems. If we did that, I believe that we'll be kindling or rekindling the interest of our children in pursuing science. I think the government has increased the salaries of teachers in schools and colleges to the extent that is possible. It's not that bad. Therefore, I would not so much think that financial inadequacy in terms of salaries is the main problem. I think we do not have enough public leaders who are standing up day in and day out and speaking about the importance of science, technology, etc., on creating a better India in the future.
Right, right. When you say not enough public leaders, are you talking in the political sphere or even otherwise? Because one constant complaint has been that we do not give enough attention to research budgets, and now there is talk on whether we should embrace modern scientific principles or go back in time to ancient Indian principles. There's a constant argument happening. So what do you think needs to be done?
I personally feel money is not the problem. I think there are enough grants. The previous government and this government both have done a good job in increasing the allocation to primary and higher education. The issue is really one of creating excitement in our children, excitement in our youngsters. The issue is one of being more open-minded to benchmark ourselves with the best in the world. The issue is one of being more open-minded to welcome universities from abroad that can help our universities to reach even higher orbits. The issue is one of creating exchange of ideas and views between scientists abroad and scientists in India. In other words, create opportunities for our scientists to travel abroad more, and for the scientists abroad, at least of Indian origin, to come more often to India, to hold more and more international conferences in India. You know, like the MobiCom, which
Right.
happened
In New Delhi. You were
in New
part
Delhi,
of it.
where you know, my son was involved. He was the general chair, and
Mukesh
Mukesh
Ambani was
spoke,
also part of
gave a brilliant speech, a stunning, very inspiring speech. So I think those are the issues that need to be tackled.
Right. And it's Children's Day tomorrow, so I have to ask you, you know, what would your advice be for children who want to take up science, children who want to take up research?
I would say that our children must focus on understanding the nature around them and use science to understand the nature. For example, what do we mean by saying sun rises in the east? What do we mean by saying an eclipse? What do we mean by, why do we see a red and yellow sun in the morning and in the evening? You know, why does heat go only from a hot body to a cold body and not vice versa, right? I mean, why is sun sending so much of energy? Why is the sun so bright, white hot? What does it mean to us? The sun is 93 million miles away from us. What is happening is there? What is happening there? How we, you know, they have to understand that hydrogen is being converted into helium due to nuclear fusion, and that's how that kind of energy is released. I think if our children can start understanding the natural phenomena around us using scientific theory, and then they should start thinking about solving the strange strangeness that they see in the nature using the imagination of their mind, I believe that India will indeed produce very high quality scientists.
Right. My last question on this particular theme. In terms of the startups that you see today, we've seen them doing really well in you know, the aggregation space, be it e-commerce, be it cabs. Are you seeing game-changing ideas when it comes to AI, machine learning, science, using science to solve problems? We have some examples of startups you know, that want to change the way, for example, cancer is diagnosed.
Oh, yeah.
Are you seeing more examples of that thrust in these areas?
Well, there are several startups which have used deep learning, machine learning. After all, deep learning, machine learning is by and large pattern matching.
That's right.
For a
Pattern
large
recognition.
number of variables, and that requires huge amount of data, or what's called big data. That's being done. And if you want to do research in you know, finding cure for cancer, cure for other diseases, you obviously need large amounts of data.
Right.
That fortunately is available in India. I also see startups using artificial intelligence, cognitive sciences in other areas. So it is alive and kicking. But how many of these companies will indeed grow to be a size of Infosys is something
Scale
that,
is
scale.
questionable.
Only time alone will tell.
Right, right.
I wish them all the best.